Hey everybody, it's a garage sale haul. And boom. The first thing I have is this flexible lamp, kind of like the one at the beginning of a Pixar movie. And I did not buy it because I need a lamp, although it is a working lamp and it's actually good. I bought it for two reasons. One, I paid $5 for it. They had a sticker of 10 on there, but I got it for $5. It was about to rain and they were super nice people, so they gave it to me for $5. But what I like about it is that compared to the other things I have with similar mounts, this is just a little bit better built. So even if I decide I don't want the lamp, I can kind of tap into here and put my own things there. Now, the more important reason, and I haven't tested to make sure this reason works, is that this, let's see here, let's get it up, there we go. So this base is actually exactly what I was looking for, and the reason for that is because in addition to this lamp, I have this magnifying glass, which I put into a different video, and that magnifying glass has a light on it. And then I have this overhead camera mount that I put my little phone mount on, so I can do, it's normally what I'm filming my overhead shots with, but I have it down for this video. And what I was thinking is that if I'm right here, exactly, so these exactly fit in here. So I can actually, instead of mounting, they come with one of these clamps, which is normally really good, except for the fact that my desk right here doesn't have much of an overhang. So instead of using these kind of clamps and having to clamp these different mounts to the desk, I can actually just take them and put them wherever I want. So let's try one more time. Let's see if the magnifying glass works. The problem is I would have made my own mount, and I'm sure I could have CNC'd or lasered something, but the this hole is not standard. I don't remember what it is, but it doesn't fit any of the US standard drill bits. So I was gonna have to CNC it, and that was just gonna be annoying. I'm gonna try not to hit the camera. But oh, it's so beautiful. So this has a piece of rubber in there, and it is just a very perfect fit so that I can move this magnifying glass anywhere I want. I can move my camera mount anywhere I want. And for $5, man, I am so thrilled. I've said in some of my other videos that I love yard selling, but I love just being able to hang out with my wife on a Saturday and just drive around and talk and maybe score some good deals. So let's take a look at the next one here. We have this Evolution HDMI extender. This was $2, so I'm up to $7 in my yard sale spending. And this did not look like it had even really been used. These wires are all still sealed. This looks like an IR extender, which is kind of nice. A little HDMI cable, another IR extender, and then here we have the HDMI out. And what's cool about this is that it runs over Cat 5, so you can basically make yourself a 100-foot HDMI cable by taking these two ends and putting them together and running a Cat 5 or 6 between them. Got a network cable, have a power supply, have yeah, that Y cable. I don't really know what you would do with that. That is, I don't know if that's even part of it. Yeah, I don't really know why that. This is a mono 1/4" to stereo RCA. I have no idea what that has to do with anything. Another HDMI cable. And the only question is, am I missing a power cord? Let's see here. No, we have the other power cords. So I've got two power cords, two HDMI extenders. We have this is an IR blaster, and so yeah, have the ability to do a really long HDMI run. Don't have a particular plan for it, but what I'm thinking about is I have a lot of extra Cat 5 and Cat 6 in my house, so I may do something to send maybe an HDMI signal from one TV to another around the house, but I haven't really made plans for it. But I've got this for $2. I'll look it up and find out how much it costs, but $2 seemed like a good deal to me. So next to the list I have these jars, and this was from an estate sale, and the girl's father had passed away, and she was super nice and just was really happy to see this stuff going to another maker. And so I didn't have a particular need for this stuff, but I paid $250 for all of this. And I've got 7 jars and this terminal strip. I love these terminal strips. This is a Radio Shack, the old 6-digit part numbers, but nice little screw terminal Radio Shack terminal strip, still sealed. We have, let's start here. I don't have a ton of Banana Jack stuff. I have a little bit, but these are really handy. These can double as either for meters or a lot of speakers, and even some old amplifiers use these double banana plugs. I don't know the spacing off the top of my head, but it's super common for that kind of stuff to be hooked up with these double banana plugs. So got 4 of them. Then this one I bought just because I have a lot of this kind of stuff, and so there's just a lot of random connectors here. We've got a 1/4 inch, I'm guessing that looks like a mono 1/4 inch to mono 1/8 inch. We have, looks like stereo to stereo, 1/4 to 1/8, 1/8 to 1/4, can't tell if that's mono or not, double 1/8 to double 1/8, or to single 1/8, you know, all these kind of just random little audio adapters that if you had to go and buy one of them in a store, it would cost way more than the 50 cents I paid for all of them. So it was partially because I like the people, and partially because I thought it was cool to have this stuff on hand. And for me, like, man, when I die, probably from one of my experiments going horribly wrong, I've told my wife if the building didn't burn down in the process, to just like let people send her over email or Facebook, let her send those prepaid shipping envelopes and just fill it up with stuff and just make people's day, man. You know, for me, like, I pity my wife if she has to try to sell this stuff. So this is more of the same, but there's some real oddballs in here. There's some, this is a female, this is like an RG6, RG59, just coaxial cable coupler, but female to female, which is a real odd duck. We've got some phonos, this is a coax to RCA, and just a lot of oddball things. I thought this was the weird one. Somebody might recognize this, but this is not an adapter, because you'd be putting on female. Let's see. So you'd put a female on this side. No, yeah, it's female to male. It's a gender changer for coax, and so all kinds of little goofy things in here. Some little panel mounts and stuff like that. So again, this jar was 50 cents as well. And here's another jar. So back in the day, I used to use a lot of BNC for, you'd use it for security cameras and stuff like that, but these little BNC connectors. And this looks like, yeah, this is actually a male connector that you put on. I know the YouTuber Simple Electronics just got some of these in a mailbag video that you crimp on. I used to use a lot of BNC connectors for networking. You had this, before we had these 10-100 networks and stuff like that, we had 10 base 2, not 10 base T, and it would use the same coaxial cable that your TV used, except you would put these things on there, and then the very last computer in the run would have, I think it was a 75 ohm terminator or something like that. But there's some oddball BNC type connectors and antenna type connectors. Hey, here's one of the T's. So this would go on the back of every little network card, and basically what you would do is you would plug, the previous computer would plug into this one, and then another one would come out the other side, and then eventually you would just put a terminator on the end to tell it that that was the last one in the line. I've always had a thing for these BNC connectors. They have a real good positive action, and they stay on there. And so this, all like the rest of it, was 50 cents. So the lady really liked me, so she let me take 3 more jars. She just told me to pick out whatever I wanted. So I got these for nostalgic purposes. I may find some use for them, but we've got a 9-pin gender changer. This is a PS2 to serial adapter, and just some of these old adapters that I'm sure I had back in the day to go from your little PS2 connector to 25-pin serial. That's a Logitech thing on there. So that kind of stuff, I guess, yeah, some could be serial, some are parallel. That's a Tandy adapter. Okay, so Tandy used these 25-pin they use these I remember the 1000s used these 25 pins in an odd way. Like everything was the wrong gender on the Tandy, and in fact they call it a port adapter. So I think what you needed is one of these things to make a normal mouse work with like a Tandy 1000 EX or something like that. I'm old, in case you didn't realize that. So yeah, so I got these for nostalgic purposes. They were free. I love these connectors. I got, if you work on cars and you need to splice two wires together, these little things are great. They're a little old, so they might not make a very good connection, but they were free. And last but not least from that section was these connectors. Now, I don't know what these connectors are. They look like some kind of, if you look at it, they've got a thread. Let me get you in focus there. They've got like a thread on them right here, and they look like there's some kind of compression connector. They say, let me find, I've got a little rust right where I need it to be. They say UG176/U. To me, they look like some kind of weird antenna or whatever connector. I haven't looked them up, so we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if the guy did ham radio or what it was he was doing in his garage, but I thought they were kind of interesting. I'd never had any before. Maybe somebody can tell me what they are. So we'll slide that out of the way, and then at the same yard sale, I paid $1. Actually, there were 2 yard sales. So when you add all this up, I'm up to $11 for all the yard sales. But what I did, and I don't have my phone on me, but I made I organized my sockets in the garage. And when I did, I had these holders that all had labels on them. And so I filled up everything I had. But then when I did that, I also wrote down which sockets I didn't have to fill the holder. That didn't mean I necessarily lost them, but if there was a 15 millimeter 1/4 inch deep holder on the socket, I decided that I would write down 15 millimeter deep, and like so 13 millimeter deep. Now I have that in other sizes, but this is a Craftsman 13 millimeter deep in 1/4 inch, and so I jotted those down, and then I got these for 25 cents a piece at various yard sales. Like if my wife was still looking and I had some time, like this is a Taiwan one. Most of these are Craftsman, or a lot of them are Craftsman. This is Powercraft. But anyway, just to kind of fill out the collection, I did buy 2, for those of you guys who know how much these get lost, I did buy 2 10 millimeter 3/8 inch sockets, 1/6 and 1/12, because you just lose that one all the time. And so I got a 6-point, a 12-point, and all this stuff. So I actually have a fun project coming up dealing with missing sockets from your socket set. And so I'm going to hold off a little bit on what that is. But, you know, coming out in the next couple weeks, you'll probably see something to do with missing Craftsman sockets. So overall, in this haul video, I spent $11 even over a couple of different yard sales over a couple of different days, and got to spend some good time with my wife today and had fun. The weather was nice, and yeah, so anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day.